could be anything. It could be starting something small. But if you don't do it, you'll never know what it looks like on the other side. And I don't know what's waiting for me on the other side of all of this. But I want to try. I want to see. We can do this. I know we can. I know I'm starting to learn and actually believe that we are so much better and so much more skilled and confident than we actually give ourselves credit. Your girl. It's noisy, but your girl isn't. Hello everyone, it's been a while since we sat down like this. Happy New Year to you. As for me, I think I'm still settling into 2025. It takes a while for me to get used to it, prepare for it, but I was working towards some applications at the end of 2024, and it actually carried over to 2025, and so it was kind of hard for me to kind of like start the new year and start fresh because I was waiting for application results. So here it is. When I gave myself a time limit of 5 years to achieve my then goal of, earning a certain amount of money with my artworks and illustration and working as a full-time artist. On the 4th year, I was assessing the situation, and given that I was burnt out to a crisp, it was very difficult for me during that 4th year of Onibeni, which is 2022. I wanted to not do illustrations. There was a point where just the thought of logging in and kind of like interacting with my community was so difficult for me. And there was a time where I felt like somebody who quit their job but was still hanging around in the office. It was like a very weird feeling, and that's how I described it for many months. That's how I wrote about it on my journals. That's how I talked about it during therapy, and it took like a year and a half to actually pull myself out of that dark place, out of that severe burnout situation. And even when I started drawing again, I wasn't drawing as much as I was when I started Onibeni. Amassed over 666 illustrations, but majority of those are from 2020, 2021. 2022, I did slow down a little bit. 2023 was like almost nothing. And in 2024, I am proud to say that it is the year where I made the least amount of illustrations, but it's also the year where I took the most rest. And not just a break. I really took rest seriously, and even though I was resting from my craft, from my work, which is also my hobby in my life and everything to me, I was doing a lot of therapy. I was reading a lot of books to kind of just help with the situation because my mental health was in shambles and I was struggling a lot. And that's also the time when I started doing new things. I started posting YouTube videos on like a weekly basis, and sometimes I would fall off. I've fallen like a couple of times. There were some weeks where I didn't upload a video, but I really found making videos refreshing. So for me, who initially had zero self-confidence and self-esteem, and I'm an introvert, but because I've lived life I've lived my life and I'm a bit older now, I'm in my 30s, I'm not as shy as before, but I wasn't very open to the idea of sharing my face and sharing my voice online for strangers to see. But 2024 kind of surprised me because that was the year that my channel and my videos got some traction, and now there's 1,000 of you guys. So I just want to say thank you for being here. And you could say that this is still a small channel, but for me, like, you can't really fit 1,000 people inside a normal sized movie theater anymore. So that's pretty substantial, I think. And just to like give you some context, at the end of 2023, my goal for 2024 is to reach 100 subscribers. And when the year finished, we surpassed 10 times that goal. And I got him. Yeah, it's amazing. Thank you so much. And also, going back to my initial story, while I was contemplating what I was going to do in my life if my art didn't work out, I was looking into myself and was searching for other things that essentially brought life and soul and meaning. Years old, I learned the term seiyuu, and it was just me, and I was watching anime, and I told my mom that I want to be like Hikaru, and I would imitate her voice when she's calling her friends and they're in danger. And then my mom said that, well, you can't be like Hikaru because Hikaru isn't real. She's not a real person. And I distinctly remember me, like, as a child, just like, what? How? If... And then the question, if Hikaru is not real, then how is she speaking? Why does she have a voice? And that is how I was introduced to the profession that is a voice actor, a seiyuu. And I don't know why that memory like came up. I know when I was in high school, I saw an ad on a TV commercial saying that summer vacation is a good time for kids to learn new things, and there was like a voice acting like camp situation thing happening, and I remember begging my dad to let me go, and he was like, no, that's a waste of time, a waste of money, you're not gonna get anything out of it. And so that kind of like dream was just like there in the back of my heart. I was thinking about it, and essentially giving voice to characters and or narrating a story or narrating a commercial is essentially an art, a craft. You're giving life to something. You're expressing that character, the voice of the writer. You are translating something that is originally on paper into something more alive, more tangible. And I kept thinking, like, that's something that I've always wanted to do, but I never really allowed myself to think that or want it because only crazy people think about it, and people think about it, people dream about it, but they don't actually do anything. But what if I did something? What if I did something about it? And so I did. Um and so I did.
Good morning. I don't usually do vlog type videos. I still feel weird filming myself like this. But today is April 27, 2023. It's a Thursday. It's almost 8 a.m. here in Japan. And today oh, I will be appearing on a radio program. Appearing, it's just my voice, but you don't look. The reason why I came to Japan is because I want to be a voice actress, a Japanese voice actress. So, being on a radio program in Japan with my voice is it's a big deal. It's a huge fucking deal. So, I'm gonna be trying to focus on finishing all of my tasks today. Yes. And then guess on the radio afterwards. Wish me luck. I am currently in Tokyo because it's December 2, a Monday, and I am submitting in person. I'm kind of nervous, sorry. My seiyuu application. This is the second big step towards my dreams, and we're doing it. We're doing it. 頑張ります。行きましょう。
I've been speaking Japanese since I was a young person. So I was thinking, like, what are the manageable, biteable, and actionable steps that I could take to pursue this dream? That's crazy. That's that's fucking crazy. And I broke it down to 3 different sections that are actionable, tangible, and it would kind of like lead to one another. So the very, very basic hurdle and struggle for someone who wants to do voices for anime and games and commercials in Japan is, are you able to read a script? And this is a tough one for me because I spoke Japanese, but I did not receive Japanese education, meaning my knowledge and comprehension is of someone elementary level. I could basically read hiragana, katakana, and maybe I would recognize like the kanji for fire, water, mountain, rice field, dream, heart, love, and that's about it. Everything else I could try. If there are context clues, I didn't formally study kanji and how to read, so it was something that I didn't really pursue because life always got in the way, and I always thought that, well, if I can get by with speaking, and that is the most important thing for language learners, then I'm good. But then I had the problem of, well, now I actually want to be able to read scripts. Otherwise, I can't do any job. I can't do the work if I can't read the scripts. I can't act it if I don't read it. So the first step is to try to immerse myself in Japan and actually study how to properly read and improve my kanji skills. And so I did that, and it was surprising. My language learning adventure journey is very different compared to most foreigners who come to Japan to study the language, because usually the usual picture is people learn how to read and write, learn the grammar, and then they come to Japan and then they practice so they can speak. But for me, it was the other way around. Instincts of grammar. I don't know how to explain it, but I just know this is how you say this. I had instinct on natural expressions, and thankfully my Japanese was okay. It's just that initially when I went to language school, they placed me on the top, on the higher levels because of the interview. And the placement test, it was all hiragana katakana, so I was like, did okay. But they gave us like an instruction, and it was all in Japanese, and I was like, I have no idea what's going on. But then as the teacher was reading it, I was like, oh, okay, now I understand what's going on. So if my case was like, if you give me a block of text, I would just shut down, because I would be like, I don't understand anything. I can't read anything. I don't know kanji. Like I can't do this. But then if someone reads the text to me, I would understand all of it 100%. And yeah, I needed to connect my speaking and comprehension skills with like stronger vocabulary and actually kanji skills that would help me read better kanji and express myself and the text in front of me. And so I did that. And so the second step would be to attend training school, a yoseijo, or vocational school, which is a seimon gakko. So I asked them, like, I don't have the JLPT level, but this is how I speak. I'm learning kanji at the moment, and this is me. If this is not dedication, I'm a 30-year-old foreigner who wants to do this crazy thing. I graduated like 11 years ago, and I want to do this thing, and it's not something that normal people do. People don't throw themselves into something like this. I've never seen anybody do this that is my age and worked in corporate, had their own business, and suddenly they want to do something like this. I had to carve out a path for myself. And so they said that, okay, you don't have the level that we need, and you cannot show the certificate for it, so we'll do a normal entrance exam. And so I was so nervous. They wanted to meet me in person, and so we did that. I took the entrance exam, which is like a standardized language ability test, and I had to write 2 essays, and I had to pick like 2 topics from 6 different topics, and there was like a 30-minute interview. I did the interview. The results were supposed to be out in a week, around December 27th, but they sent me an email saying that there are no results from my interview, but they do want to interview me again and see how much I improve on the reading part. Everything else went okay. Everything else was superb except for the reading on the spot part. So I said, okay, I think I remember the topic that they gave me an essay on the spot, and I think I can remember what the topic was about. And so what I did was I kind of like took the kanjis I remember, and then maybe kanji that can be related to those kanji, and then studied them, how to read them. And then they scheduled 2 more interviews. One interview, again, was a different person, and they're like, okay, that's cool. Maybe if you can prepare for the reading bit, maybe you would improve even more. And so they gave me like a prompt and things that I should study, and I would be like, okay. And then I waited, and there was another interview, the final interview. The first essay I was able to read flawlessly because I was able to prepare. But then they were like, okay, if you prepare for it, then you can actually, it's okay. And I was like, okay. And I was so nervous because it was like 1 a.m. and I was just like,
I've been waiting for this for 6 hours. Like, I need to do this. I need to know.
After the flawless essay, they were like, let me just give you another one. And of course, I was not able to flawlessly read that bit. The lady was very skeptical. No, we don't always have time to prepare for the script. It's usually that we distribute the script on the day, and you have to do the thing on the spot and say yada yada yada. And I understand, because like if you cannot read a script, then you cannot be a voice actor or an actor or whatever. And so I understood the situation, and I was like, thank you for your time. And then I waited a week. I was ready to give up. I was like, maybe if they don't give this to me, I'll just get a cat, get a dog, live out of the city, and just kind of just get a job, And I actually cried I remember crying after the final interview because I really felt like they're not gonna give it to me. They're not gonna give it to me because I can't even read this simple essay.
It is now 1:53 a.m. I just finished my final interview, and the guy was kind of optimistic. He was interested in like how far I can go, how far I can push myself so I can read a script. But the lady wasn't so convinced. I studied um so I could read what they put out, but then they're like, "Oh, we'll give you another one," and I'm like, so I don't know. I guess my way of making it feel like it's not over is I have all the study equipment and all the papers I've been writing on all over the floor. But now I'm just slowly organizing the floor so it can be clear. And I didn't feel depressed. I felt sort of optimistic when they gave me an email that they want to re-interview me, but um I don't know. Maybe they won't give it to me. And that will be it. I couldn't even I can't even try because I am not qualified to go into the arena. And even before the meeting like ended, they were like, "Do you have any questions for us?" And I could feel like it was ending. I could feel that no, they're not gonna give it to me. The good thing is I tried, and whatever I gained from this experience stays with me. It's just not enough, I guess.
How are you supposed I was like, oh, I'm so confident I can do this. I have dedication, motivation. I have like grit and I'm tech savvy. I have like initiative and all these things. But then Benny, you can't read a simple essay script. Like, how are you gonna be a voice actress? Like, it's. And I was like, if they don't give it to me, I would understand. And that would be it because in 2026, the requirements for foreigners who are going to be attending Semongakko is going to change. They're going to change the rules. And a lot of the things that I have on my arsenal to apply won't be valid anymore. So I feel like if I don't get this, might as well give up. At least I did something and then I got to the second step. I can be proud of that. And they actually gave it to me. I passed my entrance exam, and I am very pleased to say that your girl is going to seiyuu school in Japan. How crazy is that? It hasn't. I have like a wet blanket over my emotions. And I don't know if it's because of that I have no feeling I don't know how to feel about it. They gave me the news last Friday. It is now Monday night, and I'm still like, maybe I'm still dreaming. Maybe I'm going to seiyuu school in Japan. And when I'm doing seiyuu school, I can audition for anime, VTuber, game, and commercial roles. I'm going to seiyuu school. I've heard things like, あんたは無理さ。あんたはあんたは大したことないもん。I've heard so many things because I'm this and this. It's gonna be hard. Oh, it's gonna be so difficult. It's gonna be blah 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 blah. And I just want to kind of bask in the awesomeness that is me, a 30-year-old foreign person taking this massive risk because I dare to dream to be a voice actor in Japan, to be a voice to anime characters, game characters, VTubers, and commercials in Japan. I want to look back at this moment, regardless of result. They keep telling me, like, the専門学校 staff, they were like, 現実は全然違うから、現実は甘くないです。It's not what you imagine is so different from reality, and it's not always sweet. And they keep telling me that just because you go to the school doesn't mean that you're gonna become a seiyuu. And like, I understand that. I'm not like, oh wow, I can do this and then I can, like, I've lived life and I've been through much, 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 much worse. Like, you cannot imagine that I've been through much worse, but I have. And this is something that I want to do. And it's hard. I know it's going to be difficult. I'm not ready. Nuh-uh, I'm not ready at all. But one thing that stood out to me, I went to a special seiyuu seminar by Junichi Suwabe himself. And he said that you need to have a life that is rich and lived in order to act, in order to do this job. And he said that 日本人のように日本語を話せるならこの仕事全然大丈夫。And it's not perfect, but I'm working on it. So, I hope that this year you will also have the courage to pursue the things that you've been wanting to do. Doesn't have to be big. Doesn't have to be massive risk like what I'm doing. Doesn't have to be crazy like that. You don't have to go to another country or throw away your job or whatever. Maybe it's a new hobby. Maybe it's starting journaling. Maybe it's finally trying yoga. It could be anything. It could be starting something small. But if you don't do it, you'll never know what it looks like on the other side. And I don't know what's waiting for me on the other side of all of this, but I want to try. I want to see. And my goal for this year is to get better at reading, to feel more confident when I'm reading kanji, definitely, to really put myself out there when it comes to reading and expressing and narrating, and just try to survive in this new life that I'm throwing myself into. And I hope that you'll stick around and hang out. Yeah, I'm not ready. Like, bro, I can't even like read straight. Like, I don't know, but we can do this. I know we can. I know I'm starting to learn and actually believe that we are so much better and so much more skilled and confident than we actually give ourselves credit for. And that also applies to you. Yes. So, what things, risks, projects are you hoping to work on this year? What are the new things that you want to try out this year that you're so scared to try? What are those things? I'd like to know, because I'm also scared. I have no idea what I'm doing, but I'm gonna do it anyway. So I want you to do the same and jump along with me. That will be very reassuring that I'm not the only one. So, and I also want to just know if you're also having a hard time starting your new year, because it feels like I'm only starting it and it's January is almost over. So yeah, thanks for hanging out, and I hope that you are having a good week. And yeah, I guess I'll see you guys soon. Thanks for the 1K. Bye.
It's windy. I don't know if you can hear me, but I don't think you will be able to hear me really, but I just finished my first day as a trainee of being a voice actor in Japan. And given that I wasn't here in the first 2 days, it's so surreal. It's so surreal how, a few years ago, and as a kid Benny, I only dreamed of this, and it was like the simplest lesson. It was like this wind. I don't think this is the best place to vlog, but I just needed to know that we were just doing breathing exercises, but I was about to cry because, bruh, I've been working so hard to get here, and I just finished my first day. Like, it was nothing, but it was everything all at once. And bro, my classmates are so nice. Like, I got lucky. Your girl, it's noisy, but your girl is in Japan because she's gonna become a voice actor. Oh my God. You have no idea how it feels. It's like all good all at once, and I'm always so used to like all bad all the time all at once. これからは難しいになると思います。でもこれは の新たな夢の第2ステップ。毎日頑張っています。皆さんも私を応援してくださってありがとうございますね。So I'm crying in public and I'm doing this on a public post box because I don't have a tripod. Like, I left half of my stuff in storage. But it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Nothing else matters. This is everything. This is everything. I'm training to become a voice actor in Japan. I'm training so I can voice anime original in Japanese. So that's what I'm doing. I'm crazy, but I'm doing it. But I haven't eaten. I only ate like a small rice bowl. So I'm gonna go to Royal Host and I'm gonna eat.